So here's why we chose Celigo. One, modern cloud infrastructure. It was built. It's always been cloud. It was kind of built cloud from the ground up, and we noticed that right away, and we liked that about the application. Next is a large catalog of endpoints. I mentioned Amazon. They're one of the only um, iPaaS connectors I've seen that has an Amazon endpoint, as well as all the other endpoints that Ebru was showing earlier. Um, Salesforce.com, Microsoft CRM, all the Microsoft ERPs, all of your other cloud services, whether you're talking about Shopify or BigCommerce or all those major services are going to have pre-built endpoints. And that's really important because there's details around how you authenticate with those applications that you don't want to have to figure out on your own. There's details just about how they handle certain types of data that they've already figured out. So it's really nice to have that large catalog of endpoints, but it doesn't mean that you can't also connect to a custom endpoint because we've done that as well. So if you have someone that what we had someone that needed to connect to a SOAP web service, which is somewhat older technology, but we had a connector for that with Celigo, and we used it successfully. An intuitive user interface. We found that it's very simple to ramp on Celigo. By the way, they have great e-learning tools and an academy for getting business consultants ramped on the software, and we have used that successfully. So in combination of their self-paced training along with the intuitive user interface, we found that it's a great application to adopt. Next is a mature support model. We found that Celigo has very good internal processes around how they ramp you into learning the software, how they manage your overall support model, how they escalate tickets when needed. That's been a really great experience for us. Whenever you pick a software product, it's not all about the software. You have to look at the organization behind it and how they support it. And then lastly is good error logging. Um, this is for the technical folks out there. Anyone who's ever done an integration knows how important good error logging is. This is something that, going back to the downsides of custom development, there's a lot of effort spent in every custom integration on error logging. And if you don't do it, then you regret it immediately. But we've always spent a lot of time in custom integrations doing error logging, having separate tables for handling errors or staging data, that type of thing. And this is just all built out of the box, within the Celigo solution. So we found that that's one of the more functional features that's been really good for our projects. So obviously, Microsoft has some of their own tools for integrating applications, and we've used those in many scenarios. But there's a place where Celigo works. So you see it in the middle between Power Automate and Logic Apps. Power Automate is a very simple solution for simple integrations. We try not to use it of anything of any complexity, or for large volumes of data. It can be somewhat slow. And on the flip side, Logic Apps is extremely powerful enterprise level integration tool, which is sometimes overkill for small and mid-sized customers. So we find that Celigo fits right in the middle there, between those two applications. Power Automate may be used for some very, very simple integrations. Logic Apps for something very complex, or enterprise level with tons of data. Celigo fits right in the middle there and has that big catalog of endpoints that we can choose from. So again, there are several pre-built integrations with Celigo. These are just some of the endpoints that are available out of the box. You see, Amazon, Shopify, BigCommerce, and we've done all those so far. And then on the right, you'll see custom integrations. So Celigo has what I call generic adapters for different web services or for different types of files, and we can use that as well. So if you have robust integration needs, we ask you to really look at all the integrations that you might need with your Business Central system, and not just now, but what you might need 2 or 3 years down the road, so you can pick the right integration approach. We know, for example, that most companies are going to want some type of marketplace integration if they're doing e-commerce in the next few years, if they're not asking for it already. So several times I've asked IT directors, for example, do you need an integration with Amazon? And they're like, well, I'm not sure. And they go back and ask their sales team, and they're like, yeah, we've been waiting for that, please. So that comes up quite a bit, as well as just different e-commerce integrations. The other thing I mentioned is that companies are more likely to switch out their e-commerce tool than their ERP tool. A lot of companies have an ERP tool for 10, 15 years, and they may have switch out shopping carts or e-commerce systems every 5 years or so as as the new flavors come out, or as technology changes. So it's good not to invest too much in custom integrations with an e-commerce site, because that can lock you into something that may not be the best sales tool for you. So you'll see here there's a lot of pre-built integrations on the Celigo tool. So all those different tables there are things that we've handled. You'll see storefronts, marketplaces. We've also handled payment methods and reconciliations with like PayPal. But all these different scenarios are going to be able to, a lot of it's going to be out of the box. And then when you do find something that you need to customize, it's very easy to address that, as opposed to the other integration tools that we mentioned. If you have a point-to-point integration, and let's say it doesn't do returns, then you're typically having to write custom code there for that. Next is here's just a list of popular integrations that we see. So again, storefronts, marketplaces, payment processors, 3PL and WMS, return services, as well as customer service systems. So all those different endpoints are out there. And I encourage you to look at all your integration needs holistically, but before you start choosing integration methods.